What's up, guys? Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel, we talk about the markets and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update. So I want to break down some technicals, going over the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and Russell 2000, but also going over at the end of the video Alibaba, Clover Health, and good old Peloton. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And when we still have 8 more minutes in today's trading session, we are having a phenomenal green day all across the board, led by the Russell 2000, which is up as of now almost 2%. What a good day for the Russell 2000. NASDAQ is up 1.62%, and the NASDAQ is about to have a record close in today's trading session. Dow Jones is up 0.74%, and the S&P 500 is also about to have a new record close, and it is up as of now 0.95%. What a positive day for the markets. And when it comes to the sectors that trade inside the S&P 500, the best performing sector so far, and as I just said, when we still have 7 more minutes in today's trading session, is the energy sector up 3.73%. Then we have the tech sector up 1.38%, and consumer discretionary is up 1.36%. The lagging sector today is pretty much utilities, which is down 1.20%, and that's fine, guys, because utilities has been the best performing sector, or was the best performing sector throughout last week. So we are seeing a very solid day all across the board. And when it comes to the earnings reports that are coming out tomorrow, and if you guys didn't see the video that we posted yesterday, so tomorrow before open we have Best Buy. And I told you, by the way, that I was planning on playing earnings on Best Buy. So today I picked up 50 shares of Best Buy because my hunch is that this company is going to report way better than expected earnings. So today I picked up 50 shares of Best Buy at pretty much $113. And as of now, I have an unrealized loss of $29. And I believe that if Best Buy happens to report way better than expected earnings, the stock of this company is very likely to fill the gap up to $119. We will see how this earnings plays out tomorrow. However, I only picked up 50 shares, guys, because if Best Buy happens to drop after earnings, then I am going to be purchasing 50 more shares, and I am going to be selling covered calls. So I have a plan over here, even though I know that this is a risky play, obviously, right? Then tomorrow after close, we have Intuit and Nordstrom, and also Tal Brothers. Those would be the most interesting earnings reports that are coming out tomorrow. Intuit, Nordstrom, and Tal Brothers are reporting earnings after close. And when it comes to the S&P 500, and when we still have 5 more minutes in today's trading session, and obviously, guys, we have a brand new all-time high in the case of the S&P at 44.89, and you guys know that I have been calling out here on the channel 4,500. So it looks like we are going to see, we are very likely to see 4,500 throughout this week. Obviously, we have the Federal Reserve on Friday. That could potentially create some sort of volatility in the markets. But as of now, guys, we are on a clear uptrend. We are trading above the moving averages, so there is nothing wrong with this tape. And on top of that, the RSI, the Relative Strength Index of the S&P, is at 61 points, when we already know that we have seen the S&P trading with its Relative Strength Index at 85 or 90 points. So we could even see 4,500 points in tomorrow's trading session. If we happen to see some sort of pullback in the S&P 500, let me zoom in here a bit more. So the most important area of overhead, let me rephrase that. The most important area of overhead resistance is obviously going to be the new all-time high of the S&P at 44.89. As of now, we are 10 points below the new all-time high. And if that area of overhead resistance happens to be broken to the upside, then we are pretty much talking about 4,500, guys, which is a fat number that, as I have been saying here on the channel, is acting like a magnet for the S&P 500. However, on the flip side, if we happen to see some sort of pullback tomorrow in the S&P, which could be the case, because this index is up today almost 1%. Then the most important area of lower support that I am going to be looking at is going to be 44.64. 44.64 is a previous area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of the S&P failed back on August 17, and they also failed back on August 12, and we are also talking about a former area of lower support that acted as such back on August 13, but it looks like I was right when I was calling out 4,500, and let's see what happens, guys. I think that we are going to see, we are very likely to see 4,500 sooner rather than later in the S&P 500. When it comes to the NASDAQ 100, we also have a brand new all-time high. Let me zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. So the new all-time high in the case of the NASDAQ 100 is at 15,341 points. And the NASDAQ 100 has been on an absolute tear today, guys. It is up as of now 1.42%. So in terms of overhead resistance, guys, I mean, we are trading as of now something like 30 points below the new all-time high. So that is pretty much the next area of resistance for the bulls, or the next important area of overhead resistance in tomorrow's trading session for the bulls. And in terms of support, if tomorrow we happen to see some sort of pullback in the NASDAQ 100, I am going to be looking at 15,150 points. 15,150 points is a previous area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of the NASDAQ 100 already failed on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 occasions in recent days. But other than that, we are on a clear uptrend. We are trading above the moving averages, and the RSI of the NASDAQ 100 is at 65 points, guys. And check this out. We have seen the relative strength index of the NASDAQ 100 before at higher levels, guys. Let's be realistic here, 83, 85 points. So the NASDAQ 100 could easily keep on going up in tomorrow's trading session because the bulls took over the NASDAQ 100. And when it comes to, now let's go ahead and take a look at the Russell 2000, which is having a phenomenal day, just like former President Trump would say. And if you guys remember, in the video that we posted yesterday, I told you, watch out for the two next important areas of overhead resistances. There goes the market. So the Russell 2000 ended up going up 1.88%. What a good day for the Russell 2000. And the most positive thing that is worth pointing out when it comes to the Russell 2000, guys, is that the bulls are getting away from 2,160 points, which is a very important area of lower support that I have been calling out here on the channel, because we are talking about a former area of lower support that has acted on plenty occasions as lower support, but we are also talking about the lower line of this horizontal channel in which the Russell 2000 has been trading since early February. So, and circling back to what I was telling you guys. So I said in yesterday's video that the next two important areas of overhead resistances for the Russell 2000 were the moving averages, the 50 SMA and the 4-hour chart near 2,200 points. So the Russell managed to close today's trading session slightly above 2,200. So the bulls already took on the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So the next important task for the bulls is going to be the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at 2,250 points, pretty much. And if we take a look at the relative strength index of the Russell 2000, it is at 52 points. So the Russell is looking very, but very healthy from a technical standpoint. And I think that we could see the bulls taking on this 180 SMA maybe tomorrow or in the course of this week. So very, but very good job for the bulls of the Russell 2000. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the first stock of this video, Alibaba. And oh boy. So where's the bottom, guys, of Baba? Baba went up today 1.96%. And it closed today's trading session at $161. But take a look, let me pull up here real quick, the 1 day, 1 minute. And today we tested once again the lows, $150. And what happened, guys? Take a look at how Baba dropped in a very aggressive way as soon as the trading session opened. So this really made me laugh this morning, guys. So it turns out to be that the city in which Baba is headquartered in China, obviously the name of the city is something like Henzhou or something like that. So there are some politicians in that city that live in that city, or that, I don't know, they are, politicians from that city. So they are under investigation for corruption. And that's the reason why Baba dropped. But mind you guys, Baba was not on the news at all. So the markets assume that since there are some politicians in the city in which Baba is headquartered, the name of the city is Hangzhou or something like that, so that was a reason to sell out of Baba. That's absolutely absurd. Figure this, guys. So Amazon is headquartered in Seattle, to the best of my knowledge, right? Figure that tomorrow, I don't know, some news, come out and there are a group of politicians that are under investigation in Seattle. And, the markets decide that, well, since there are some politicians that are being investigated in Seattle, let's sell out of Amazon because maybe Amazon is related to the corruption case. So, this drop that we saw today in Baba was absolutely insane. I get it, the crackdown of the Chinese government over the tech companies and all that stuff. I get it. So that creates a lot of fear. We have a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt out there. But, Baba was not on the news. Why would someone sell out of Baba? Because some politicians are going to be investigated in the city of Henzhou, which is the city in which Baba is headquartered. So, that really made me laugh this morning. So I am getting a lot of questions like what is going to happen with Baba, and I don't know because I don't have the crystal ball. So Baba closed today's trading session at $161. And guys, if the lower support of $150 happens to be broken to the downside, because I am getting a lot of questions, I think that Baba dropped down to 100. Let me pull up here once again the 5-day, 5 minutes. So what's the lowest that Baba has gone? Yeah, today, $152. So on Friday, we broke the $160 to the downside. And yeah, this trend looks horrible, guys. I'm not going to argue that. Baba looks very, but very ugly from a technical standpoint. So let me pull up here once again the 3-year chart. And if the lower support of $150, because as I just said, I am getting a lot of questions about that, happens to be broken to the downside, then the next important area of lower support for Baba is going to be at $147. Check this out, guys. $147 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Baba back in May of 2019. And take a look at the RSI on the 3-year chart. Baba is absolutely oversold, guys. Take a look. 28 points on the 3-year chart. So if any of you wants to buy more Baba, as of now, I own like 70 or 80 shares of Baba. Then if $150 happens to be broken to the downside, and if Baba happens to pay a visit down to the area of lower support that I just told you about, at $147, we can make the case that the RSI and the 3-year chart is going to be even lower, and that is going to increase the likelihood for the bulls of Baba to find support at a previous area of lower support that already acted as such like 2 years ago and then bounce back up. And since we close today's trading session right at $161, that's a very important spot, guys. Check this out. $161 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Baba back in September of 2019. So we are seeing prices that we haven't seen in something like 2 or 3 years in the case of Baba. So if tomorrow Baba happens to find a good support near $161, and if it happens to make a push higher, then the next important area of overhead resistance for Baba is going to be at $170. $170 is a previous area of support that already acted as such for Baba back in March of last year, and also back on, what was this? This was October of 2019, and also back on March of 2019. So what can I say, guys? If Baba pays a visit to the area of lower support that I just told you at $147, I am going to buy more shares of Baba. And I don't know, maybe tomorrow there is a car crash in this area of Hangzhou, and that's a reason for Baba to drop. Or I don't know, maybe there is, an earthquake in Hangzhou, and let's blame it on Baba, and let's sell out of Baba. I don't know, guys. Sometimes the markets can be absolutely ridiculous. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the second stock of this video, Clover Health. And in the case of Clover, guys, as I was checking on the short interest of Clover, and it is at 35%. So I don't like the conspiracy theories about short squeezes and stuff like that, because most of that information, I mean, there is a lot of stuff that is going on the dark pools that it is very difficult for us to trust in any information that is supposedly coming out from the dark pools. So I'm not gonna be, as I just said, telling you guys conspiracy theories about the next short squeeze that we are going to see in the markets. But guys, 35% is a very, very high short interest. So Clover Health, no doubt about it, is a candidate to be involved in a short squeeze. Okay, so let's go ahead and break down this stock from a technical standpoint. So Clover went up today 4.77%, and it closed today's trading session at $8.12. So from a technical standpoint, guys, we have a very important area of lower support for Clover at $8. $8 is an area in which the bulls of Clover already found support during the first days of August. So if tomorrow I happen to see Clover starting to consolidate slightly above $8, that is going to be an interesting spot in order to pick up some shares of Clover. If I pick up some shares of Clover, then my price target is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance at $11.50. $11.50-ish is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for the stock of this company back on June 21st. It also acted as lower support back on February 5th, but we are also talking about a former area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Clover played in March and also back on April. So if I were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, and mind you guys, if I happen to pick up some shares of Clover, I am going to make sure of purchasing those shares slightly above the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart at $8.30. So let's say that Clover is, closing hourly at $8.40 each, and if I notice some sort of strength from a technical standpoint, I am going to be tempted to pick up some shares of Clover. And take a look at how the 180 SMA and the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart are getting closer. So I believe, guys, that if Clover happens to take on these two moving averages, and let's say that Clover happens to burst above $8.40, then momentum could kick in, and Clover has a first chance of filling the gap up to the area of overhead resistance that I just told you at $11.60. So purchasing shares of Clover at $8.30 or $8.40 and selling out of those shares at $11.80, we could be potentially making a profit of 30%, a very nice profit. So watch out for Clover, guys, bursting above the moving averages, the 50 SMA and the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, and filling the gap from $8.40 up to $11.60. And needless to say, watch out for that short interest, guys, because it is very elevated, no doubt about it. And the last stock of this video is going to be Peloton, good old Peloton. And in the case of Peloton, I think that the stock of this company rather, is reporting earnings on Thursday after close. Correct, on Thursday. So what happened? Let me take a look at the last two earnings reports of Peloton. So the second to last earnings report of Peloton came out in February, and after that report came out, Peloton didn't do much. It pretty much traded sideways. And the last earnings report of Peloton came out on May 7th. And after that report, Peloton went on a tear, guys. It went up 43%. Am I thinking about playing earnings on Peloton? I don't think so, guys. However, And taking into account that Peloton is reporting earnings on Thursday, if tomorrow the stock of this company, and by the way, I forgot to tell you that Peloton went down today 1.37% and it closed today's trading session at $106.59. So if tomorrow the bulls of Peloton happen to pay a visit to the area of lower support near $103, $104-ish, which is an area in which the bulls of Peloton already found support back in June and also back in March, then at that price, I am going to be tempted, guys, to pick up some shares of Peloton near $104. So if I pick up some shares of $104, then my price target is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance at $116. If I were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, purchasing shares of Peloton at $104 and selling out of those shares at $116, $117, I could be potentially locking in a profit of 12%. And why $117? Well, because $117 is a previous area of support that already acted as such for Peloton back in July, also back in late June, and it also acted as support back in mid-April. So what's out for Peloton, guys? I think that $103, $104-ish, $103.50. If that price happens to provide a good support for Peloton, then that is a price that seems to be attractive, taking into account that Peloton is reporting earnings on Thursday. And take a look at the RSI. It is at 34 points, so we can make the case that if Peloton happens to pay a visit down to $104, the RSI is going to be even lower on the 4-hour chart, and that is going to increase the likelihood for the bulls of Peloton to find support at a previous area of lower support and then bounce back up. And take a look at this death cross that unfolded a few days ago, and it actually affected Peloton in a very negative way. So yeah, we could see $104 tomorrow, guys, or in the course of this week. And with Peloton, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to the channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.